Hello, all my friends out in TV land. This is Senior Issues, etc. I'm your friendly host, Vita Verdon, and I have a show packed with all kinds of information for you. Hurry up, get your coffee, and have a seat. And, you know, March has come in like a lamb, and we're happy about that. Now, this person that I have with me today has so much information. I learned something before the show when he was talking to me, and I thought I knew everything. You know, I always think I know everything, but I was humbled today. I learned something that I didn't know before this. So you're going to learn some information, so be sure you have a paper and pencil. Now, I have a person who's been on this show several times, and he works for an organization called Catholic Charities, and they have a slew of programs that you're going to benefit from. So I want you to sit back and relax and take in this information, because this one's for you, and give a warm welcome to Martin Perez. Martin Perez is the outreach coordinator for Catholic Charities. So he's going to give us some of the dirt about himself, a little information about himself. I know you always like to say, well, what is he about? You know, he's going to tell you, and he's going to tell us the programs that we personally, and I'm already benefiting because I've already signed up with some of these programs for quite a while now. So be sure that you pay attention. So Martin, if you could tell, let's look right into that camera and tell our audience a little bit about yourself. They'd love to hear it.
Okay. Well, my name, first of all, is Martin Perez. I attended St. Stanislaus Kuska grade school in Chicago for 8 years, and then from there I went to Holy Trinity High School for 2 years, and then I moved into the suburbs in around 71 and graduated from Round Lake High School. I attended there 2 years. I also attended College of Lake County. I took some classes in architecture. I worked in the past at Baxter Healthcare. Then we had a spin-off with Trammell Crow. And then I worked for a company called Leggett Architects for about 3 years. And then I found myself at Catholic Charities. I've been working there for close to 10 years now, helping seniors in the community, 60 above, and those that are disabled under the age of 65.
So maybe you could tell us, because I know that we have a very faithful, large audience, what Catholic Charities is in simple terms.
Well, Catholic Charities helps seniors in the community to benefit, to be able to stay home with the services that we can provide, and it helps them out with several other programs that I can also talk about that we serve them in our community.
Well, I know that they have the senior segment is only part of Catholic Charities, and I know you're located in Round Lake and you specialize in senior programs,
Yes.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
So now this show goes to more than Lake County. So if somebody is living outside the area of Lake County, that there is an 800 number.
There is an 800 number, depending on what county you live in. All you have to do is call that number, which is on our pamphlet. It's the 800-942-3930.
800-942
3930.
3930. Now, if you call that number, then you could find out where you're living based on where they're living.
Correct.
On where they could go to. Because if a person wants to sign up with any of these programs, first of all, let's talk about what programs we're going to talk about today.
Okay, we can talk about, in this pamphlet, we have several programs we can talk about. We can talk about the Senior Medical Patrol. We can talk about transportation, the home delivered meals, which some people are aware they're called Meals on Wheels.
Meals on Wheels.
Meals on Wheels. The Congregate Meals program that we have. One of the biggest ones is the community care program, the CCP program, that allows a senior to get help in their home, where they can get any type of homemaker services such as housework, laundry,
Help bathing.
help bathing, help shopping, and then they can also get the emergency home response system. That is the little necklace that you can wear. If you fall down, you click it, and then a response group will try to get a hold of you. If they can't get a hold of you, then a response team will come to see if everything's okay in your home.
Now, I know, like, on that nutrition program, I've had it for, it's more than 5 years, that there's certain restaurants that you go in, and I think you can get a regular senior meal for approximately $5.
Correct.
Around that price.
Correct.
I know there's a restaurant up in Gurnee. There's one in Gurnee, and you see there's one in Fox Lake, there's one in Highwood.
And there's one in Zion.
And there's one in Zion. So that's within the immediate area. Now, there may be more coming into the program, depending on what restaurants will pick it up.
Correct,
right?
correct. And we do have some congregation sites also in Lake County where seniors can go to and get a nice hot meal for a donation of $4. One of them is located in Grays Lake at the 50 Library Lane Senior Center. Another one is in Park Place off of Lewis in Waukegan. We have one located in the Round Lake Park District in Round Lake. We also
Now, what is that program called?
It's called the nutrition program, where you have to be 60 years of age.
And it's in mostly senior centers?
Senior centers and restaurants located in Lake County. Yeah, and we have several ones. We have one located in Antioch. It's the Lakeville Township. The Nuestro Center, it's also in Highwood. And that's kind of geared for the Latino community because
that's for Spanish food?
The Spanish food. We also have Liberty Arms in Wakanda. The one restaurant that we didn't mention that was in Highwood is called La Casa de Isaac.
La Casa de Isaac.
La Casa de Isaac, which they serve Spanish food there. You know, and again, the restaurants, it's only a $5 donation. And they're open at several hours of the day. So you kind of have to call up ahead to let them know that you're coming to the congregation sites. Some are asked to be called 24 hours in advance, some at 48 hours in advance.
Well, I'd like to talk about a little bit to help our audience out there is number one, step one is they have to contact Catholic Charities.
Correct.
Okay? Then a profile of the person needs to be done.
Correct.
Okay? And how we were talking before the show, in this profile, it is partially dependent on their income, but it isn't 100%.
Well, it depends on
Their
a lot of their situation, and also asset limits. There's an asset limit of $17,500.
That means how much money you have saved.
Saved in a bank or
in stocks.
in stocks, bonds, CDs.
Okay.
You know, if you have other than property that you live in, so they kind of have to look at that, and then what happens is they do an assessment for them.
But it's also what your needs are, right?
Right, your needs are, correct.
If you have a disability.
If you have a disability, if you're 60 and above.
And if you don't have much family.
Right.
So all this is taken into consideration in your profile. And then once you're assessed, and just to give an example for our viewing audience is, say a person is having a hard time bathing themselves because they're afraid they'll fall. You can get assistance with that.
Correct.
Say the person is having a hard time doing their laundry. You can get assistance with that.
Correct.
Say a person is having difficulty in seeing, they need someone to make like light meals for them. You can get assistance with that. And then also light housekeeping.
Yes.
That doesn't mean they're going to move all the furniture, but it means It
Pretty
takes
much.
in vacuuming and dusting.
Right.
And
The immediate place that you live, that you use in your home, pretty
so
much.
you vacuum and dust and say mop down the kitchen floor and the
Yes.
bathroom floor and wipe down your bathtub. So it's light housekeeping. And then say a person needs to be taken to the store.
Correct.
So that would be taken into consideration. And so in this assessment, then the person from Catholic Charities, the worker, the social worker from Catholic Charities would assess and then say how many hours and what their needs were and what they would provide for. Well, we're going to come back to this because there's so much more we have to talk about, but now we're going into Vita's Pearls of Wisdom. One of the things that I wanted to say to each and every one I open my heart up to you, and I have an attitude of gratitude. I did a show on that. And I'm so grateful. We're just ending our 15th year because how we grew this show, basically, none of us here were 12 seniors that produced this show, and I just happened to get the job because I'm a gabber. You've gotten to know me over the years. Is we listen to what you want to hear, and we're seniors ourselves. So I am a client of Catholic Charities, and I was telling Martin, I'm so satisfied with what I have gotten. My needs are provided for, and I learned something new today. What I learned new is, as a low-income senior, I'm available to get a free eye test and a free pair of glasses, depending on where I live. And I'm going to have him tell you a little bit more about it. But I just wanted to say I'm so grateful for you watching this show, because I wouldn't have, when we started on September, in September of the year 2000, September 19th, 2000, we had Libertyville, we had Mundelein, and Grays Lake, 3 communities. And now I think we're edging on close to 100 different communities in which the show is seen. So because you gave me the information and I passed it on and learned and benefited myself, I'm so grateful to you. What I want to thank you for is I want to thank all the organizations that have supported us throughout the years to keep us on the air. And most of all, I want to thank you as the audience, that there wouldn't be a Senior Issues without you, because you're the ones that have tuned into the show and helped the growth, told your friends and your neighbors. So I thank you for all your emails, which I try to answer all of them as I can. I thank you for all your letters that you've written, and I thank you for all your phone calls. What interests me is I have gotten several emails on people's their thought process of what they think about the show and how they've benefited from them. And that really blesses my heart, and it keeps me to knowing that we're on the track, and we want to stay on this track. And, we're going to put out the best to you as long as we can. And our main thought here is to get the information out to you, the practical information that you can use, because we're the first generation that has lived as long as we're living, and we have to know how to keep our little gray cells up here, how to keep this thing going, that even though I have those moments that I'll open up my freezer and say, what did I go in here for? Even though we have that we can still keep on going and leave a legacy to our children and those that are coming after us of how we're to do it. And the key is to do it with dignity. now we're going to get back to Martin because I know that he has so much more information that he wants to tell us. Okay, so now we have the person going through the profile, right?
Yes.
But there's I'd like to go through the transportation thing. I know, like, for several years, a lot of people, as myself, have been on circuit breaker, and circuit breaker, the only thing they have now is they have the discount on your automobile tag, and there's a transportation that you can, maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Actually, circuit breaker, the name changed in between 2012 2013 to BA. It's called Benefit Access Application. If you qualify for the program through the state of Illinois, you can get help with the license plate sticker reduction for your vehicle, where you only pay $24 a year for it. The program lasts 2 years now. It used to be a 1-year program. Now it lasts 2 years, and you have to do the application online. There is no more paper application. You also get the benefit where you can get the ride for free on the transit, where you can get an ID card, and you can ride the train and the bus for free.
I wanted to mention, even though you said, you know, the application is done online, that Catholic Charities will help you with this.
Yes, we will. I do office interviews in Round Lake, and I have a coworker that does also the office interviews in Waukegan, and we also do enrollment events where when we go and speak at a senior building, we go back within like a 2-week period and sit down with those seniors and help them. We have our own laptop, we have our own scanner, and then our printer, so we can do the applications with them in their home and give them a copy of the application and then help them in that form.
So let's see now. Have we gone through this one? All the services?
Not all the services. We do have what they call adult protective services now.
What is that?
Where we can help children anywhere between 18 to 59 regarding any type of abuse that might be taking place. We have several people in the office that will come to their home or any location where it might be happening, and then do an interview with them to check to see what's going on. You know, is it verbal? Is it mental? Is it physical? Is it financial? Sometimes sexual. We will make sure that we can get that person out of that environment into a safer environment. And we ask the public, we ask people out there, if they know of any type of an abuse that might be happening, to give us a call. You know, I report it to the police. You know, we'll get the call from the police. It's actually, that call is anonymous. You don't have to leave your name, your phone number, anything about you. We'll just proceed with, you know, when someone calls in with that, we'll proceed and then follow up and then, you know, check to see what's going on.
And, you know, all this information is also on the website.
Yes, it is.
And
yes,
do you have the website?
Yeah, the website is www.catholiccharities.net. Just go on the website and you can see what different types of programs we have.
Now, this show goes into Evanston and goes into the Chicago area too. So people would have to call the 800 number, or they can go onto the website and they can get information. Because where you're talking about is that if somebody is in Lake County, say they're in Waukegan, they'd have to call your office for the senior services because you just specialize in senior services, right?
In the Round Lake office, we do service the senior population 60 and above. I have programs that I can help the seniors 65 and above, and those that are disabled receiving Social Security under the age of 65.
Now, you said in Waukegan it's 59.
59 and below.
So
yes.
it depends on the area. So in order to check it out, see, this isn't standard for every area. It's best that you go to the 800 number or the website.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's go on to, we didn't
fraud.
talk about this. Let's
Yeah.
talk about this a little bit, okay?
We were affiliated with a group called SMP, Senior Medical Patrol, out of Oak Park at one time. But we still work with them hand in hand as far as talking to the public about don't be a target of healthcare fraud. There is so much fraud in the world today regarding hospitals, medical, doctors, healthcare services, that we talk to the seniors in the Lake County area about that. To, the precautions, be careful. Check your summary reports when you receive them from Medicare, your explanation of benefits when you receive them from Medicare Part D, just to make sure everybody's honest that what you're being billed for are the service that you're receiving.
Well, now, if anybody has any questions about that, do they call the 800 number?
Yeah, there is a number for the Oak Park. It is it's a 877-808-2468. If you believe you're a victim of fraud, you can call that number.
Because they specialize in that.
And they specialize in that, correct.
And do you get a lot of calls on that? Do you transfer them over to this department?
Yes, we do get calls. Once I do my presentations in the Lake County area, it kind of gives people awareness, and then they start thinking, wow, on my summary report, I noticed that there was something on there that I didn't get services for. And when I called, they didn't really want to help me with it. So when they put me on hold, it got to the point where they just decided to hang up because nobody was helping them. So when we give them the information about the number here, they will call there, and then the SMP group will go ahead and investigate.
All right, so if you didn't get that number, if you just even go to the website and you get the 800 number, or you want to call Martin, or you want to give that number out again?
Yes, I can give out the number. It's 877-808-2468.
All right. Now, let's go into depth a little bit about the glasses. What are the requirements on that?
Okay.
Because I just learned about this now.
Yeah, it's as long as you're one of our clients. You have to be one of our clients in order to get the program. It's called the Lens Crafters Gifted Sight Program.
Say that again.
It's Lens Crafters Gifted Sight Program.
Okay.
It's located, we have several stores in Lake County. We have 2 located in Northbrook, 1 in Lincolnshire, 1 in Vernon Hills, 1 in Deer Park. We have another one in Arlington Heights, and the newest one that's opened up about a year ago in Gurnee at Gurnee Mills. We have these several locations because depending on where you live in Lake County is where we're going to send you to get a free eye checkup and a free pair of glasses. And all you do is call our number, but you have to be one of our clients in order to receive that service.
Well, say they want the lens class crafter and they're not one of your clients, they could have a profile done.
They can get an assessment done to see if there's any other services that they can qualify for. And then once they go through that assessment, that would determine if we would be able to help them or not.
All right. I want to talk a little bit about in the profile that one takes, because I know people out there are probably asking, they say, well, I have a little money as savings. Is that going to interfere? So is that allowed in, say a person has, say about $10,000 or $12,000 in savings?
There is a limit, and I believe the limit is $17,500. If a person is over that asset level, we do have other information, other locations of where they can get help, but they might have to end up paying for that help. Otherwise, if they're under that, they can come through Catholic Charities, and we'll do an assessment, and at the point of the assessment, that would figure out how much time they would receive for help. And a lot of people get it confused. They think it's days of the week. It's actually hours during that week.
Oh, it's
It's
Hours.
hours. It's broke down by hours, not days.
All right, and then I have another question. Say a person is living with their children. Could they still get help?
They can get help to a certain point because a lot of times the children are not home. They're working. Sometimes they're left alone. And depending on the assessment, it's going to depend on the assessment on how much time.
Say they're living with their adult children. You know, so the adult children are taking care of them.
There is a little bit of a difference there, depending if the adult children are not working anymore. Okay, if they're not working anymore and they're there and the adult children are taking care of them, I believe there's a way you can get help through your adult children if they sign up and get a job working for the company.
If the adult children sign up, or if the senior signs up, or both. They both have to sign up?
The adult children, depending on if, like I said again, if they're working, okay? If they're 65 and above and they need help in their home, they would get separate help. So then the adult children would get the separate help, and then the parent would get separate help. So it would be two different cases.
I want to ask you this. What is the most asked for service?
The most asked for service is pretty much the community care program because it helps the senior stay in the home, stay in the community. It doesn't force them to have to move into a nursing home away from family and everything. So the community services that we help the seniors with in Lake County help them stay at home, and that's one of the most services that we help with.
And why don't you give the website and the 800 number again?
Sure.
Because we are interested in people calling in and just asking their questions, because we've only been able to dip into this, and I think you have to come back regularly and bring us an update.
Yes, because there's depending on the federal and state government, regarding the services that we are allowed
It changes.
It changes.
Because of the government regulations.
Yes, and also incomes change, asset levels change. So there's always a change every year, and we have to keep up with it and also help the seniors know that.
You'll have to give the number.
Yeah, again, the phone number is 800-942-3930, and then our website is www.catholiccharities.net.
Well, Martin, you sure have given us a plateful, and we appreciate, and God bless you for the services and how well you put it across. And you know what time it is now when you out there come to the end of your rope, you tie a knot and you hang on, because the best is yet to come. And what we want you all to do this week is catch the Spirit. God bless you. We love you.